hello, hello, hello. We are live here on Talk Talk Live on IG and YouTube. I am back in the place to be. Yes, just a tad bit, just a tad bit, but I'm getting better. I am getting better. I am live on IG and YouTube, and we're going to get into this. It is Why the Hate for Tate Part 2. I'm going to let everybody stream in. How you doing today? I had a pretty good day. I have... what have I been doing? I have, been working. I've worked a few files in and of itself, and also helped out grandma again. She's in need of help. She's in need of assistance again. So, grandson to the nephew, to the rescue. Anyways, but again, we're gonna get into this. Hello, YouTube. We are back on Talk Talk Live. Let me help out with the camera there. I am getting a camera soon. I am getting a camera so that we can expand the audience here. But we're just on webcam right now. But we're going to go on. Why the Tate for Hate Part 2. We are doing it. We are doing it right now. And, we're just going to get into this whole situation with Andrew Tate. Now, again, where we left off yesterday was we had explained Andrew Tate's career. Basically, he was a champion kickboxer. Then he became an adult chat provider and became successful at that. And then he went off to create this Hustlers University, which allowed him to outlay his quite strong views on relationships and on COVID and on the Matrix, as he says. And people latched on to his word and his chat to a point where he is now one of the most searched individuals in the world. And he's been on shows such as Tucker Carlson and Piers Morgan. And he is one of the most, searched individuals on planet Earth at the moment. So, but what really, and eventually through those views on women, on relationships, on COVID, on the Matrix, in and of itself, the top G, as they say, he was now put onto a ban on TikTok, on YouTube, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Instagram. All four of the major social media sites. So it was supposed that his income stream has been cut off through that, and not only that, his bank accounts were frozen. He wasn't allowed to travel too many places. A lot of his presence on apps was cut off as well. And let me just go on full cam right here on the browser. Do apologize for that. Go about full cam. There we go. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. And he was basically demonetized on all these platforms. So he was basically handcuffed because of his views. But he's just recently through the takeover of Elon Musk been allowed back on TikTok. So he's now back on TikTok. And also he a few other I think he's on this other platform that he's about to embark on an exclusive deal out there. And he recently turned Muslim. So again, that is those are the three things that have changed in his life right now. He's currently in a beef with a few other people. But again, what really has made Mr. Tate famous is his views. Let me just turn the camera down there for a second. There we go. That's a bit better. What's really made Mr. Tate famous is his views on women and dating and relationships and marriage. And, that's made him a top G, not only to those to young, impetuous minds, but also to those of a certain age and experience. Now, again, Talk Live is back live tonight. We are sponsored by Duntalk, DONTALK. The fall winter line is out now, but this is part of the spring summer line, so I'm just wearing it just because anyways. But not only that, we are live on YouTube and Instagram. Like, subscribe, and comment. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So, and I want to move on to TikTok as of Thursday, but today we didn't have so much of the time because I had to run a few errands, as I've said before. But again, we're going to get into this. We're going to get into Mr. Tate and his views on relationships. And I'm going to be talking through the interview that the one that has received, I think it was 12 million views. But I'm going to have my take on things with regards to the Takeout TV episode. You can see it live here on Talk Talk Live on YouTube. I'm just going to switch to the browser now, and we're going to get into it. It is quite a, an in-depth look into the mind of Mr. Andrew Tate. So if you really want a full synopsis of what he thinks on dating relationships, I think this is the best format to do that. Hello, Chanel. How are you? Thank you for joining me on Talk Talk Live tonight. Like, subscribe, and comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Anyway, so we're going to get into this right now on YouTube, and we're going to start it out quite quickly. And he's going to tell a bit about his life and his experiences. And again, I'll be stepping along the way and letting you know my take on things with regards to his take on things on love and relationships. Here we go.
Try and say they're spiritual or they're religious in a way, copping out on the 1 hour a week. It just feels a bit lazy to me. I think you can always find an hour.
Yeah, no, you definitely could.
So maybe God sent me here to make you go to church.
Maybe you're here to enlighten me.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
He's a devout Christian. He was a devout Christian, but he recently converted to Islam. Just to let you know. So again, True Geordie, he got on to the back of quite recently, and they got a beef, and it's kind of serious. But again, that is another thing altogether. But he recently converted to Islam, so we're just gonna go from there.
What kind of man are you?
What's the spectrum? I need you to quantify it for me. Who's at the bottom and who's at the top?
For me, I'd just say top like a high value man.
What would you say constitutes a high value?
A high value man is someone that is successful financially. I'd say it's someone that's got a lot of integrity and good morals, that is very well respected, is very sure of himself, but also is a very family orientated man. That's from me, a high value man.
Well, clearly she did not listen to my man Kevin Sanders on what a high value man is, which includes you have to earn $100,000 over a 5 year span, over a 3 to 5 year span. You have to be useful to the useful to your, not only to the people and to the group. You have to have other high value men vouch for you, and so on and so forth. But again, that's just a synopsis of it. But clearly, she didn't listen to Kevin Samuels any time soon, who gives the real definition of high value men. But that's her definition, and that's fine and all together with. But we're going to take you into what Mr. Tate's instruction on high value men is, interpretation of high value men. Yes.
He's very sure of himself. Yeah. So what's a high value man for you?
Pretty much basic boys. I think a high value man is a capable man. I think capability can be judged in many different ways, and capability is something which varies depending on the situation. You need a man who is capable of doing lots of different things that he doesn't do very often. You need a man who's capable of being violent when the time appears. Of course, you need a man who's capable of making money. You need a man who can kill somebody and hold a baby in the same day. You need a man with a very broad spectrum of qualities and assets and capabilities. And this is actually what the most difficult thing about being a man is. Most people, when I say most people, let me change that. Most females don't respect how difficult it is to become a high value man. Because to become a high value man, you need to have so many different qualities and so many different capabilities. It's a very difficult thing to do. You need to be funny and smart and charismatic and interesting, with stories, and strong and rich, with a nice car and a nice apartment. Whereas to be a high value female, you need to be hot. If you're nice, it's a bonus, but it's not even that necessary.
That's it.
If you're a pretty female, even if you're a piece of shit person, you're gonna get messages on Instagram.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're a good-looking man who lives with his mother, you're gonna get messages.
Not really.
I think so. I think that if you're a good-looking man, that's all you have going for you. I don't think you're gonna succeed very well in life. I know that.
Good point there by Andrew Tate. Now, again, a lot of his high value men status has to do, not only does the man have to make a lot of money, but he has to be able to handle himself in a fight. So he's very combat driven, Andrew Tate, because again, he was once a kickboxing champion. So as he said right there, he said you need to not only bring home the bacon, but be able to kill a man at moment's notice and be able to hold the baby in the same day. So again, his idea of high value men is very much based on not only financial success, but physical prowess as well. And not only physical prowess, but again, being able to handle yourself in a combat setting. We have from Chanel here saying, but for me, how do you switch from Christian to Islam? Again, it's quite, well, again, we pray to the same God, really. Chanel, and thank you for the comment, by the way. I mean, we pray to the same God, so it's not that hard. I think Muhammad is considered, he is both in the Bible and also in the Quran, and also Jesus is a prophet in the Bible and Quran as well. So again, it's not that hard a switch. Again, there are I think Christianity is more I think a little bit leftist leaning. I think a leftist sort of feminist leaning in certain capacities, but Islam is definitely a more masculine sort, a more patriarchal sort of religion, as seen in many countries that practice Islam. Islam tend to be, most of those countries, if not all of them, are patriarchal. Christian countries, they tend to have more feminist tendencies to them. But again, in terms of conversion to Christianity to Islam, it's not that big a stretch. And again, it's something that can easily be done, and many people have done it. A lot of people have changed from as a Christian as a faith to Islam. A lot of famous people have, including Malcolm X has done it. I think Mike Tyson did it for a time there. He converted to Islam. I think he still praised. I think he's considered himself. He's still Islamic to this day. So again, it's sort of a change that can definitely benefit your life, but it's a change that is somewhat easily convertible. But again, getting back to the topic. So Andrew Tate blends not only physical prowess with financial prowess, and also these sort of he seems you have to be nice, you have to be kind, be able to pay the bills and that sort of thing. But his is a more of an abstract view of high value men, where his take on high value women, again, he all you have to do to be a high value woman is have good looks, which is again a little short of what I think the definitive high value woman definition is, which Kevin Samuels has already put out there, which is where you have to be fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, single, childless. But he is a little more limited in terms of view. His is that all you need to do is be pretty and be able to have a certain fitness level now, and be sort of nice, and be nice again, because no one wants to be considered unkind and be considered a high value woman, which is all fair enough, because as he was proving there, all he needed for a man to be on a yacht, he has to prove himself financially in the financial field for anybody to invite him there. So he has to prove his worth in that capacity. Where high value women, all they have to do is have a pretty smile, have a great waistline, and and you're able to jump on both. So he was comparing it to chess, whereby a queen can move across a board, where with a king, he only can move in one place, because he has to manufacture his moves. He has to prove himself worthy of movement to different areas and different places, which is entirely true. So we'll go on with this with the interview now.
There's very, very pretty girls who have nothing else going for them that manage to do very, very well. Do you play chess?
I'm okay at it.
But if you look at the chessboard, right, the queen gets to jump all over the board, and the king has to move one square at a time. I think that's done very purposefully. If you go to Monaco and you see a yacht, and you see a man on that yacht, he had to work his entire life, and network his entire life, and get up early and deal with stress and tax problems and police problems, and work his ass off to buy that boat. What did the girl have to do? The girl was on that boat, the 19-year-old Ukrainian. She had to get a message on Instagram. So the man moves one square at a time, and the queen just jumps on board. This is the point. Female beauty is extremely valuable.
The thing is, there's a difference between a high value man and a high value woman. For me, a high value woman is, what kind of mother is she? What kind of compassion has she got? Has she got integrity? Has she got morals? Is she loyal? All these other qualities that I feel like men base it on just an aesthetic level.
I agree with you. If I meet a female,
Wrong on that front. Well done, Cheyenne. Wrong on that front. We don't base it on a simply. True high value men don't base it simply on a aesthetic level, because that's what she's saying here. We also base it on your friendliness. We also base it on your cooperation. We also base it on your submission. All these things have to be taken into account, and none of them involves beauty. None of it. None of it, none of it, none of it. So, again, it is again, she has a part of the definition. Yes, fitness fitness and femininity count, yes, indeed. But you're missing she was missing a few steps on the ladder in terms of, the full gamut of what a high value woman is, according to a man. Now, again, but again, I was jumping ahead there because he was describing what it takes to be a high value man, what it takes to be a high value woman. These are two different things. Where more or less a high value woman, what it takes to be a high value woman, it doesn't really cost much of anything. It's a matter of choice. Where with a high value man, we have to define. It takes a lifetime to become a high value man. It only takes a frame of mind to be a high value woman, which is absolutely true.
Now, I would like her to be all those things, especially loyal. It's the most important thing for a female to be.
Are you loyal?
Mr. Loyal, man of God, I feel like talking about church. But the point is that to initially attract a mate, females, the most important thing for them is their looks. Whereas a man, I think it's his status. His status is far more varied spectrum than looks alone. Being good looking alone does not make you a high status male. To be a high status male, you need to have a bunch of things. Initially, if you're just pretty, you're going to get attention. Whereas a man, you need to have a bunch of things to just get attention. Do you understand? Do you agree with my point?
Not always. Listen, there's men that are funny that aren't that attractive that can get attention. It's like an energy thing.
I disagree.
No, I'll let that play out just one more time. I'll let it play out because it's a good answer, and he's right. Listen, Andrew Tate's right. It takes what we are based on is basically financial. We are financially based. If you can be as funny can be, but if you are not making any money, that does not make you a high value man. Not only to a man's eyes, but a woman's eyes as well. Definitely a woman's eyes. They'll let you know that that doesn't make you a high value man at all. So I'll let him continue.
I disagree. I know what you're saying. They can get attention, but I don't think anyone will look at funny guy who's a mom and call him a high value. Whereas if you get a really, really beautiful girl, even if she has nothing else going for her, she would be considered high value.
I wouldn't say high value.
Yeah, we can disagree. It's fine.
Are you a good partner? The best. What makes you the best?
Besides you and the police, I don't often answer questions.
Okay. He's definitely had a police interview in the past.
I don't like to answer open-ended questions because I feel like they're a trap.
Why?
Because when you speak a lot, it's how you end up getting trapped, right? It doesn't matter if it's a police interview or anything else. The more you talk, the worse. So I want you to be very, very specific with your parameters within the questioning because that allows me to answer them in a way which makes me look the best.
I don't know. I feel like
and I gotta commend Andrew Tate for that because he doesn't like getting trapped in terms of questioning because he knows he knows the status of who he is. So he wants people to be specific in terms of their line of questioning, which is fine because a lot of people will try to try to trap you with open-ended questions. And again, what's wrong with that? If you insist on people to be concentrated and to be finite and to be focused in terms of your line of questioning, because again, it can lead you into dark alleys and in which people can catch you out and at the end of the day prove you wrong at the end of the day and make you look like a fool. So he's right to ask these sort of questions.
a very confident man that's very sure of himself would just answer.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
If
Because I feel like it's just being confident.
okay, a very innocent man, would he just answer the police?
Yeah. If he's innocent.
Then you've never dealt with the police, my dear. That's not how it works. No, of course not.
He's innocent.
Excellent retort. An excellent retort. Women usually aren't really confronted. Well, unless you're a black woman who's, well, we'll not go down that road. But women in general don't usually have to face the police in a confrontational way. Men do all the time. So for you to give police a benefit of the doubt and literally, trust them without any impunity is, even Andrew Tate, and not only that, but many black men have to go through this where we can't trust the police. We have to be specific in our answers. We have to be in our answers to them. We have to be and we have to be so focused in terms of the line of questioning because it could be a life or death situation. If we answer something wrong, if we make a wrong move, we could die. Most of us black men realize this. So, she has not really had any sort of confrontation with any police of anything. God bless Cheyenne. I think her looks have carried her through life to a point where she's never had to have any sort of negative encounters with the police, where, a guy like, Andrew Tate can be seen as a threat. A guy, a person in my color skin can be seen as a threat. So again, he's absolutely right to say that, and he's right to correct her on it.
It doesn't mean anything. Innocent and guilty in and of itself is a false paradigm. You have to understand that the world we live in, there's no black and white. There's no such thing. It's all a sliding scale. If they want to find you guilty, they'll find you guilty. I guarantee you sold something to a mate on eBay 7 years ago, didn't pay tax, boom, you're in jail. I'm enjoying this conversation, and I understand every point she's making, and I'm being deliberately abrasive. However, the truth is about the masculine and feminine dynamic is that females like men who are completely in charge and run their life exactly how they want, and they comply and bend to the man's wills and lifestyle. To come along to a woman and say, how do you want me to be so that you like me, is a death sentence for the relationship. So that's how it works.
What kind of man do you
Nothing. See, that's what I'm saying. I mean, what a lot of people get wrong about Andrew is the fact that he's not speaking to them when he actually is. He's speaking to a lot of women. Women like take charge guys. Women like guys who make decisions. Women like guys who are responsible, assertive, confident. CIA men. Confident, intelligent, assertive. That's what women like. Sorry. It's true. Name me a woman who likes an unconfident guy. Inconfident? Unconfident. Name me a woman who likes an unconfident guy. I say 95 to 99% of women do not like unconfident guys. Do not like guys who are not focused and have a plan for their lives. They don't like me. They will not submit to them. They will not submit to a man who doesn't have a plan, who is not focused, and who is not confident in himself. Confidence must be built over time, yes, but that's what women like. That's what women like. And if you tell me different, if you tell Andrew different, if you tell most men different, you're fooling yourself. We're gonna laugh at you on that. Seriously, we're not. What? Come on, guys. Seriously, that is something that speaks to women. Confident, intelligent, assertive men speak to women. They do. On a very, very ethereal level. And that must be understood. So again, he's right in saying that, and you won't find many women objecting to it, but we'll go on.
I want to be a man who is true to himself, and a man who goes to sleep easy at night, and a man who knows that he's living true to his biological necessities and instincts, and tries his best not to hurt anybody, and leaves a positive impact on the world.
Are your actions congruent with your words? Yeah?
What else would they be?
I don't know. I don't know you, so that's why
You don't
I'm
know?
trying to get to know you.
Yeah, we're here to know each other. Of course they are. Yeah, I'm a positive man. I'm a positively inspirational and motivating person.
Okay, what do you do is motivating?
I inspire people to tell the truth, I think.
Okay.
And I think a lot of men live in a world now today where they have to lie.
You think?
In fact, I would basically guarantee that 99% of men are lying at least 80% of the time.
Really? That's a bit bold.
I think it's true because I think that
So men are liars.
men are liars. Women are correct. Men are liars. Women wear makeup because men fall in love with what they see. And men lie because women fall in love with what they hear.
Wonderful, wonderful. If you didn't hear that is, and it's absolutely true. So I am not finding any objection to Andrew Tate thus far. What he just said was, if you didn't hear that, is that men have to lie about their success in order to gain an advantage with women. They have to. Most men have to lie. Most men have to lie about the lifestyle they live. Most have to lie about the place about their accommodations. Most men have to lie about their cars. Most have to lie about their financial advantages. They have to lie. Because in order to gain the confidence and gain the sexual experience with women that they want, they have to. Most men have to lie because most men are average individuals in and of itself. Wait. Did I not plug this in? Wow. Whoa. Okay. I thought I brought it here. I thought I didn't. One second. Be right back. Wow. Okay. Wow. Oh, they had it here. Oh my God! Where the damn thing is? Oh, right here. Can you take it with me? Oh, they had it with me. Oh, they had it with me. Okay, we are back. We are back. We are back. We are back in the studio, hooked up and ready to go. Sorry about that delay. All right. Back at it. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining my Talk Live. Let me see this comment here from Chanel again. I see. I love that, but I love debate. Sometimes that can challenge my thought. Okay. Well, yes. It is true that, a good debate is always necessary, but it's always good. It's always, it's always good to make sure that we have each other's views intact. Hold on. Let me turn on the light here. There we go. Yes. That's better. So again, it's good that we have these sort of views and abilities to communicate with each other on differing ideas. That's all well and good. However, we as men would like a woman's submission, and in doing so, we have to create cogent arguments for them to be confident in our abilities to lead. So again, it is good that we have these debates, and sometimes we take a woman's advice. There are certain advantages, that a woman has in terms of her education, in terms of her life experience. We should take advantage of as men, absolutely. But we would like the opportunity to weigh those things and make a final decision. Yes, but that comes with financial / employment success, and our success in life, and our confidence in making decisions that impact the family and take a family and society forward. So again, it is good that we have these debates. That's true, Chanel. I am totally with that. I'm totally the fact that we have these debates, but we should, in and of itself, try to we as men would like to have final say on these things, but that is only proven with employment and financial ability, status, and success over a long period of time. So again, it's something that has to be worked on over time, that we have gained through our experiences in and of itself. So again, let us move forward with the discussion here.
Men are liars because men are in constant competition with other men, and they have to find a way to be competitive, and the easiest way to be competitive is to lie. If you can sit there and convince a woman that you're rich because you are a $100 or £100 meal, that's what you're going to do. It's a lot easier to become rich. And women believe it. As long as women are stupid enough to believe it, men are dishonest enough to lie.
That is wow. I love that. I just want to stop that there. If he just said, if women are stupid enough to believe it, men are smart enough to lie. Well, men have been lying from time immemorial in order to, get a woman, be in women's good books, and eventually, couple with said women. So again, it is a confidence game. To a certain level, to a certain extent, men have to be confidence men. We do. As long as we can back it up, then there's more truth than a lie. But at the end of the day, we have to. Men lie to a certain degree, to a certain extent, in order to prove themselves to their lady friend. Anyway, so again, it is an unfortunate byproduct of dating, an unfortunate byproduct of courting. But again, these things can be easily found out, and women aren't used. You can fool some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. So you have to back it up. There has to be some sort of track record of success that you can back over a serious time, or else women won't take you seriously, and the lie ends. But initially, in order to get in a woman's good books and get in a woman's bed, there are certain things that a lot of men have to lie about. So that is absolutely true. So again, men have to own that, but it's only through financial success and only through employment success that we can prove ourselves. But again, these come in varying degrees at certain times. And so in order to get over with women, in order to not be one of those 1 in 3 men who do not have sex regularly over a 1 year period, then, lies have to be developed. So we'll move on.
Actions can be a lie. You think flowers can't be a lie? You think flowers, 25 pounds on a phone call to some dickhead delivery dude can't be a lie?
But there's some good men that it wouldn't even enter the head that that's a lie. So I feel like everything you're doing is just very calculated.
Life is calculated. All men
not.
lie.
It's really not.
Men lie because, life at the upper echelons, at the highest echelons of life is absolutely not really calculated. Every single man at the top echelon of life is a calculated man. You don't get there by accident.
Okay, so do you want to get to the top?
I'm already at the top echelon of man. And when you're at the top echelon of man, it's a very, very calculated process. You don't get there by accident. Nothing good in life happens on accident. When you say men don't lie because you believe in actions, I'm saying a lot of actions are lies.
Am I high value women in your eyes?
You're very good looking, so I would say, yeah, absolutely, you're beautiful. You seem like you're a good person. You seem intelligent. You're not stupid. So I'd say you're a high value woman, but your actions dictate that, right? The most important actions a woman can undertake is loyalty. Every man out here knows that disloyalty is the most disgusting thing a female could ever do to her man.
But are you loyal?
Good point raised there by Andrew Tate, in that he sees. I would see a girl like Cheyenne. You could see on Talk Live right now, live on YouTube. If you ever, and we're talking about the Standout TV interview with Andrew Tate. So we're getting into the mind of Andrew Tate and how he actually moves and displays his views on life. So with Andrew, he had a look at Cheyenne, and he said that she's a high value woman, and to a certain extent, he's right, because with Cheyenne, if you see it on YouTube right now on Talk Live, Cheyenne is again a fit and feminine woman. Let's face facts, she is. If you have a look at her on YouTube right now, she's a fit and feminine woman. She extols those sort of values, and that's what gets you in the door with men. Being fit and feminine, and she appears to be friendly again and cooperative. Now again, the whole submissive, single, childless part that has to be debated. So we haven't gone to the full extent of Cheyenne's eligibility of being a high value woman. However, and again, this is Godfather approved. However, for the most part, yes, she appears to be a high value woman. So he's absolutely right. He's absolutely correct. He's absolutely correct in this. I mean, once you have the look in order that men are attracted to, that men see as appealing, that's the beginning to being a high value woman in and of itself.
Let's not pretend that male loyalty and female loyalty are the same thing.
But loyalty is loyalty.
They're not the same thing, are they?
Why is it not?
Because men and women are not the same.
We're not the same. You're correct there.
Okay, so we agree.
No, but I'm not agreeing to people being dishonest, cheaters, liars. Who's deluded?
Why do you think men and women are different?
We carry children. We nurture. We're compassionate, emotional beings.
Yeah.
Men are very different.
I agree.
However, I don't think it's very fair for men to sit with the opinion that it's acceptable for men to cheat.
I didn't even say that, but I think if we, as intelligent, logical beings, as you are, and as I am, if we agree that men and women are not the same, then our paradigms on how we act in certain regards cannot be seen as the same.
So if I'm with you, and I then cheat...
That's disgusting. I can't believe you just said that on YouTube. You see, you just said that on YouTube. I'm sorry to the world. Please don't listen to this.
But it happens.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't happen. No. Please don't say this on YouTube. You're going to corrupt the youth. I'm sorry for her. I'll pray for her. These things can't be said. You can't do that.
Women can't do that, so it's a double standard.
It's a double standard. But life is full of double standards.
If it doesn't mean any, like, listen, regardless of your philosophies and everything.
Now here's a very interesting take from Andrew in and of itself. You can see it on YouTube right now. Andrew believes that he believes in what KS believes, in that men don't cheat, they exercise options. So if you're a man of a certain status, of a certain ilk, of a certain grade of man who is successful, confident, then 80% of women want you. 80%. So you are inundated, literally inundated with ladies from all walks of life who want to sleep with you, date you, and even want to marry you for the most part. So instead of instead of a 2-to-1 ratio, which is based on population overall, it becomes 13, 14, 15 to 1. It could be as high as that, because you're a man in the man. You're a man on the make. You're a man on the, who has established his way in life, have made all the right steps, have been very calculated, and have amassed a certain amount of financial and influential success, so that women want to be around you and be with you. So again, that makes their choices that much greater, and therefore, for a lot of women, a lot of these, a lot of high value men, they tolerate cheating. They tolerate cheating. It's a way of life, especially if you live in parts such as Europe. It's just the way it is. And what Andrew's saying here is that it's just the way it is for men to exercise some options. As long as you don't bring home any biddies, embarrass yourself, and buy any high-ticket items, it's par for the course. It's what happens, right? As long as you don't bring any incidents home, then that's what happens. Now, again, he sees women cheating. He doesn't tolerate women cheating. He doesn't tolerate women cheating at all. He says that men can cheat, but women can't, because, again, this is where things get a bit dicey. You are my property. Women are men's property, especially high-value men, and as such, you should be at home, taking care of home, hearth and home, and children, and allow me, yes, I know, Dimples, yeah, I see the smiles and laughter, I get it, but you can... you should be at home minding the kids while I go out, slay the, kill the meat, get out there, and do what's necessary in order to keep our family intact and thriving. So that is the sort of difference that there is there. Now, again, I missed a comment from, yes, indeed. Yes, Chanel, you had said something before. I actually like Married at First Sight. All high value, but sometimes some don't. But you see there, Married at First Sight or 90 Day Fiance. Who are these men who go out who go out mostly to get these women? They are definitely high value men. There are men who have a certain amount of a certain financial means that allow them to seek out women from different locales around the world. Now, again, those are the passport bros. But now women are starting to do the same thing. But when they do the same thing, when they go out there and venture out, usually the ladies are a bit older. They do have money, yes, but they're not getting top men. They're getting men that that will love them and not see them die in old age. So there's a sort of difference in terms of the chase. So again, it's a bit of a difference there. So I just want to roll these up. Yes, indeed. So I feel. Sorry, I'm not saying I feel. I never say I feel, because again, can't react on emotions. So again, it is sort of a double standard. Yes, indeed. Not only with passport bros, but also in terms of cheating. Men, listen. KS said himself. Godfather said himself. Men don't cheat. They exercise options. Because men have a group of women around, successful high-value men have a group of women around them to whom they want to be the number one. So it is up to men to conduct themselves in a way that allows them to, yes, seek the sweet, but not to bring any kids home, not to embarrass their wife, not to buy any high-ticket items. So have these sort of interludes, to say the least. But again, we don't those sort of options being exercised. So again, that therein lies the difference. But with a guy like Andrew Tate, he doesn't see his wife as being able to cheat, because again, he is the man. She should be at home, and she should be dutiful to him. So that's his take on things. But we will continue. Again, it's a harsh take. I get it. But again, if you get into the higher echelons of in terms of high value men, especially in matriarchal societies, that is expected. That is indeed expected. In the developed world, you can laugh at these things. Yes, Dimples laughed at these things. No, try that laughter out in public in places like Asia, or places like any Muslim country, or places in Eastern Europe, or places in South America. They take that seriously. And women have a total different thing. So in terms of the laugh emojis, they wouldn't usually do it. But again, we continue.
It's not my philosophy.
No, but I'm saying, okay, life is your double standards. I understand that. But in a relationship,
Correct.
it's a partnership.
Yes.
Right? You and me, we're together.
Since when?
You know what I'm saying. When you're...
She stepped into the trap. Here's the thing. Ladies, here's the thing. One thing that the gentlemen of God and of the Bible understand, that it was never a partnership. It was never a partnership. It was always a case of, unfortunately, if taking the Bible literally, that is, if taken from Bible text, that women belong to men. Men were considered the head of the family, and women and children being a part of that family. Now, it's hard to understand. It's hard to swallow being in the developed world as long as you have been here and enjoying the freedoms that you have. But if you are in a sort of devout, a conservative Christian / Muslim society, that's the case. That's the case. Your wife belongs to the wife belongs to the husband. The children belong to him. He is the head of that family, unfortunately. Oh, fortunately. Or however you want to take it. But that is indeed what men have stood on for thousands of years. It's only the last 50 that women have established their place in this sort of partnership. Now, if men wish to, succeed in it, wish to accede to this partnership, who are we to judge? Who are we to say? But again, in terms of high value men, usually they tend to be a little more conservative in their view outlook of things. They tend to be. Not all the time, I understand. But when she starts talking about partnerships, a lot of high value men would shut that down. They would literally shut that down. They would literally say, this is not a partnership. A partnership is a leaky ship. That's the old saying. A partnership is a leaky ship. There has to be a head. There has to be a general. There have to be lieutenants. There have to be privates. And if that's the case, then if you can handle, if a partnership can be handled, so be it. But usually those in those marriages where there is a head and there is a second in command, and there are the privates, usually those are more successful marriages. And Chanel says, that is fine, no problem with that. And you know what? If you're of a certain background, that is no problem. But we all know there's one background where it is a problem, especially in the developed world. There's one problem. There's one group that sees them, that always puts forward this whole partnership deal, that always put forward this, I'm single, independent, don't need a man ideal. And guess what? It leads them to being the least chosen women of all. I'm not going to say who they are, but we know who they are. I need not repeat them. Those ladies. Usually they're quite melanated and quite strident in their views. Let's say that. Anyways, but yes, Chanel, that is fine. No problem with that. Especially, and I've already gone through this on Talk Live, especially with white women. Reason why they're making inroads in terms of interracial dating is because they'll allow their men to be the head of that family. They'll allow for their men, whoever they may be, to take charge. You say here, I don't watch nothing. I just stand with my man. Boom. Oh, Lord. You see, that is catnip to a lot of men. Catnip. Absolute catnip. To be, and you know what? Usually, women with your view, Chanel, usually get picked and usually get married. Because that's what men want. When you're in a power struggle in a relationship, those don't usually end well. When there's a competition, there's a battle, there's a to and fro, those don't usually end well. Someone has to relent, and usually when you're in that sort of that sort of tete-a-tete with someone in a heterosexual relationship, usually women lose respect for a man that do not push forward their confident and intelligent ideas and put forward their superiority in terms of their physicality and in terms of their protection. They don't. Usually they don't succeed because they lose respect for that guy. If they are not stoic, if they are not confident, intelligent, assertive, usually women use respect for that gentleman, despite the fact that women want to be considered equals with men. That's a bit of the irony of living in in this sort of environment. Women want to be considered equals, but they want to have confident, assertive, powerful men. Men who will lead. They're the most attracted to ladies. So, been twice. Exactly. Chanel knows. Chanel knows. Do you mean you've been married twice? If you've been married twice, you got to explain a little bit of that. But again, you see, I mean, you've been chosen by men because you have that sort of mindset that men that men can get with. Most men get with. And again, to most black men of our color, we love that stuff because we've never experienced that. We've been around, beautiful as they are. Love my black women, let's say that. But as beautiful as they are, they're usually very, very masculine in their mannerisms. And when you have that, it makes it hard for them to be considered desirable. But we try, and we do. But again, it usually involves a little give and take. But anyways, let me get back to this with Mr. Tate.
When you're trying to build a partnership and a life with someone, the end goal is you two together.
Agreed.
So why cheat?
I know, I understand where you're coming from. My point is that relationships and life is full of double standards as a whole. A man's going to pay for everything everywhere you go, right? This is his duty as a man. Do you agree?
No, I do like traditional.
Okay, so you agree. So you're traditional, right? So if you want to talk about traditional, let's talk about tradition.
This is such a good point. Oh my God. Women want feminist ideas, but they want traditional men. See, that's the difference I was talking about. Women want their feminist ideas forwarded, but they want traditional men. Men who protect and provide. Men who pay the bills, all the bills. And if men pay all the bills, why shouldn't a man lead? Ask yourselves that. If men pay all the bills in the household, or the majority of them, why shouldn't a man lead? If you can answer that question, then you'll find a better way of life. Then you will be chosen. To be fair, you will. We have to stop this sort of picking and choosing of feminist ideals, yet they want a traditional man. You can't be a feminist and yet be traditional in certain aspects. You can't. You can't. It's either one way. That confuses men. How can you want us to pay for every bill and yet you want to run the roost? Did he pay the cost to be the boss? If he did, give him the lead of the family. Give him that choice to make choices for the family in and of itself. Sounds fair to me. But with a lot of ladies these days, they think, okay, he makes the money, but yet I make the decisions. No, you didn't pay the price to make those decisions. Did you pay the price to make a success for yourself in life? That's the difference, ladies. If you want a high value man, you're going to have to submit. Let's say that. You're going to have to, there has to be a degree of submission. Yeah. There has to be a degree of submission. No doubt about that. Thank you for joining me on Talkdtalklive live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. But this is what I'm saying to you guys. You can have a partnership and yet you want a traditional man. That makes no sense. Because you didn't partner him in making his money. You weren't a partner with him when he was going out there, blood, sweat, and tearing it out, and making a success for himself. You weren't there. There were no partners there. You were there at more than likely at the finish line. If you were there during the partnership and helped build his business, all the power to you. Yes. Then I see the partnership. Then I see the partnership aspect of things. But if you weren't there, and he made a name for himself, and he did all these things in order to establish himself in life, where's the partnership? Where is it? How do you fit into that and see yourself as a partnership? See, let's take, for instance, the relationship between Russell Wilson and Sierra. Russell Wilson made himself through blood, sweat, and tears into a high-value man. But yet Sierra would turn around and tell you it's a partnership. And remember, Russell Wilson's taking care of Sierra's child that was from another relationship with Future. But she will tell you that it's a partnership that they're in. What? Where's the logic in that? I don't know where it is. Somebody tell me. Anyway, we move on.
Every single man since the dawn of humankind had more than one woman. Every single king, every single emperor, every single sultan, every single conqueror since the dawn of humankind had more than one woman. All of them. Every single one. Read a history book. Read the Bible. It's all in there. The Quran. All of it. You want to talk about tradition? It's all there. The only reason your mind is different, the only reason you believe differently is because Society's come along and told you something.
Yeah, but society can change. Like, the world evolves, things change.
The world evolves, yeah, that's right. Now men cut their dicks off and their chicks. You believe in this shit? You believe in any of this crap? It's all a lie.
I feel like life's about choices.
Life is about choices, correct. My point is this. If I had a woman, I would decide not to cheat because I decide. However, I would not see my infidelity as nearly anywhere near even 1% as disgusting as female infidelity, because female infidelity involves emotion. You will not sleep with a man you don't like. I can sleep with a woman I don't like. It's a completely different thing. I can be head over heels in love with a woman, ready to die for her, ready to take a bullet for her, protect her, give her all the money in the world, make sure she has a beautiful family, a nice big house, all of it. And I'll still f that bitch. Watch me. A woman won't do that. So don't lie to me and pretend. No, you won't. Any woman who'll sit here and say, I can f dudes and not care about them is fundamentally broken. Her soul is broken.
Yeah, well, she's broken then, but she's still doing it.
Well, if she's broken, she ain't anywhere near me. I don't want no broken bitch near me.
Wow. Wow. That sequence says it all about Andrew. Listen, he plays it close to the edge. He does. He plays it close to the edge, but guess what? It's hard to object with him. He literally said there that women cheat via emotion. You have to win their head before you win their heart. And that's true. It's true. You have to win their head before you win their heart. Women are not easily swayed to sleep with a man and cheat on a man and do it through physical lust in and of itself. Now, again, modern women with a lot of masculine traits, yes, indeed, there is that sort of change going on. But even then, these 304 girls, these city girls, yes, but at the end of the day, it catches up with them because men don't want to be with these ladies after all. At the end of the day, they don't want to be with them. They don't. What's the point? With a woman with a reputation on the street? Hell no, we don't want to be with them. I'll tell you that straight out. We don't want to be with a woman who has been around. No man does. It's never been that way. We do not want to be associated with hoes. No, we never did. Never once did want to be associated with hoes. We don't sleep with them, but that'll be that. We aren't wife and hoes. Oh no. No wife and hoes at all. And he's literally saying there himself, it's like, oh, times change, things change. And he got close to the edge there where he's talking about, the, in terms of the LGBTQ community. Yes, he did, but is he wrong? At the end of the day, not in terms of the LGBT community, that's when put to the side. Let me say that. However, let me put that to the side. But in terms of heterosexual relationships, things haven't changed over. He's talking about 3,000-4,000 years of civilization. It hasn't. It literally hasn't. To a certain extent, yes, it hasn't. Over the last 50 years, slight changes, slight differences, slight alternatives have come to the fore, yes. However, in terms of heterosexual relationships, not much has changed. Yes, to a certain extent because of the fact that there are more single mothers out there and men have taken on some of their mother's traits, yes, to a certain extent in terms of their attitude, in terms of, their outlook on life, and in terms of how they conduct themselves. Yes, there are certain single mother traits that are out there, absolutely. I can go into that, but that'll be another show. But in terms of male-female relationships, not much has changed. And again, he literally said it himself there. It's like, I wouldn't want to be with a modern woman. He wouldn't want to be with one. He wouldn't want to be with a city girl. He wouldn't want to be with a 304 girl who literally is embarrassing himself on a weekly basis. You have a look at what has happened with Russell Wilson, as I had mentioned before. You have Sierra twerking on a bloody car. Does that put Russell in a good light? Hell no! He's being embarrassed left and right, taking care of a child that's not his, but yet he's a high-value man. He's supposed to be the one carrying the family, and she's embarrassing Russell at every broken turn. What can I say? But Andrew Tate is right. Do high-value men want to be embarrassed in public? No! Hell no! They want a woman who is fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, single, childless. If you are single, that is. But fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive. A delight to come home to. Have a lightness towards them. And not embarrassing their husbands in public. You can't stand that stuff. And if he found out that his woman was doing that on a regular basis, if he found his woman was sleeping around, off she goes. I think all men have come to this conundrum, especially in this modern day age. And chances are, men usually cut bait. They're out of there. Because we do not want to be associated with a woman who embarrasses us. Let that be clear, ladies. We do not want to be around a woman who embarrasses us on a regular basis. We'd rather leave. Continuing.
You think so? Well, those are the kind of women I will not associate with. Females shouldn't even want to cheat. And the reason women can't cheat is because there's no way to ensure paternity if a female's cheating. Modern science in and of itself, just because you can now find out who the dad is, doesn't undo 5,000 years of human evolution in which a female had to be loyal to one man, so we knew exactly who the father was. If a man has multiple partners, you know who the mother is, you know who the father is. If a woman has multiple partners, nobody knows who the dad is, nobody wants to look after the kid, and a woman with a child without a father or without a man around in the ancient world was toast. He talks a lot.
Well done, Andrew Tate. He literally laid it out there. He's telling ladies, if you sleep with guys, if you are promiscuous and you come up pregnant, we don't know who the father is unless there's a DNA test. We don't know. We have a comment here from Chanel again, but in the end, everyone wants that one. I would never embarrass my man. Loyalty is everything. Yeah, thank you. Tell that to your lady friends. That is, you want a surefire way to lose your man, embarrass him in public. There you go. You want a surefire way to lose your man? Constantly embarrass him in public. He will leave like a bad rash. He will leave. He will leave like someone smelling a bad smell. They will go. They will go. So all these loud and proud and strong, independent, don't need men, women who like to argue in public, that's a surefire way to lose your man. Surefire. Surefire. Because we will not be embarrassed. That's the one thing that is the biggest pet peeve of men, is to be embarrassed in public by their women. Hate it. Hate it. That's a one-way ticket to Singlesville. One-way ticket. Embarrass me or my gender in public. If you're not simpish, that is, of course. If you're simpish, or if you're if you're sort of a gimp or a cuckold, embarrassment is part of the game. I get it. Okay, different strokes for different folks, but to a lot of manly men, nope, we don't want to be embarrassed in public. No. And again, fraternity's at a difference when women are, because again, you see it on Maury all the time. Fraternity's always in question if a woman is promiscuous, because we don't know who the father is. That's why you see women going on Maury like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, because they don't know who the fraternity of the father is, because women are too promiscuous. They've lost themselves. They lost their morals. They've lost their minds. And if that's the case, what man wants to be associated with that person, with that lady? What man? The only way we associate with them is in the dark of night, if we're desperate for sex and out of anybody's consciousness. But even then, what's done in darkness soon comes to light. So we don't even want to really associate with that. We can't be that desperate. But anyway, we continue.
Nothing.
I would never ever be with a girl who cheats on me, and I would never ever.
You can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I
No,
can.
you can't.
Of course I can.
No, you can't. Like, because the thing is, this is just an assumption. I'm assuming, you have a nice
This is
life.
not wrong.
No, but I'm saying you have a nice life, you live a good lifestyle. Women will just see you as an opportunity.
If I was a dumbass, yeah, correct.
Yeah, but this one's your attitude is what keeps a woman also. Like, do you think a high-value woman is going to sit there and tolerate a man condescending and talking to her and being like, we're different and we're this, we're that, because we're not? A woman that knows her worth is not going to tolerate that.
As professionals, we discuss infidelity of females, and I think that female infidelity is more disgusting than male infidelity. And I think that the world agrees with me. History agrees with me. The Bible agrees with me. The Quran agrees with me. Every single book you can read from history says that females who are promiscuous should either be stoned to death or at least cast out from society. Female promiscuity is a brand new concept. It's brand new amongst society. The idea that women can sleep with a bunch of dudes and it doesn't matter is a brand new idea. 30, 40 years old, maybe. Even today, nobody respects it, deep down. When a girl shoots a girl she doesn't like, the first thing she does, she's a bitch. You know why? Because they know deep down that female promiscuity is disgusting, it's revolting. So the whole idea of a female wanting to sleep with more than one man at a time is haram. And they know it inside of their souls, inside of their hearts. As yes, they do, as does a man. Whereas a man, if he sleeps with a bunch of chicks, doesn't matter, who cares?
So would you be with me if I'd slept with other?
Very good point. Point raised with Chanel again. Never with me. My last husband rested all his baby mothers, not me, because I was loyal. He never questioned. There you go. My last husband. Let me just read that again. Rested with all the baby mothers, not me, because I was loyal. He never questioned. Yeah. There you go. But you proved your loyalty because, more or less, you were submissive, quite simply. You were cooperative and submissive, guaranteed. And that's the reason why I stayed with you. That's the reason why. All these other baby mothers are probably not submissive and probably not cooperative. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. 6 kids he had? Whoa. Okay. Oh, never. Was it tested? Let me see. Tested? She wrote tested. Yeah, tested. My goodness. She wrote tested. Okay, yeah, okay, fair enough. Thank you, Cass. Thank you very much. Okay, well, as I said, probably because she was cooperative and submissive to a certain extent. She was never tested. So, again, the attitude was right, and that's why he clung to you and not to others. Oh, DNA tested. Ah, thank you. Very good. Okay, because he knew he was the one. Okay, I get it now. I'm sorry. I do apologize. I get it. Now I get it. All right, he was never DNA tested because, again, were you out? Did you give him reason to think different or to not trust you? Did you give him reason? Probably not. Your actions, your activities, you were vetted, proved to him that he didn't have to. He literally did not have to question that. No, there you go. Your movements never questioned it. But a lot of these 304 city girls these days, a lot of these Instagram girls, oh yes. Their lives are spent on social media, and in that way, their motives have to be questioned. If they live their lives on social media, damn right there have to be questioned. These city girl, 304 girl individuals these days, yeah, they got to be questioned. If you can't search their phone, yeah, they got to be questioned. If a man picks up your phone and you freak out, there's a problem. Let me say it again. If your man picks up your phone and you freak out, there's a problem. Yes, there is a reverse, absolutely, but trust is based in any relationship. And if he can't trust you, and it goes both ways, but if he can't trust you, guess what? It's a problem. It's a huge problem. But again, we move on.
50 men. I'm a high value woman, right? You said it yourself.
How can you be high value? 50 minutes.
I've just been single for a long time.
Unacceptable.
Why is it unacceptable?
A body count is probably the number one most easiest way to judge the value of a female. I actually...
Absolutely correct. Why the hate for Tate? He's absolutely correct. You can't be considered a high value woman if you have 50 bodies on you. No man will see you as that. None. My man could take my phone every time. There you go. Thank you, Chanel. She just proved my point. If you have 50 bodies, if a woman has 50 bodies on themselves, they can't be considered a high value woman. No chance. Not in a man's eyes. No way. That's way too high a body count. You know way too many men. Your reputation's way too sullied to the male population. Sorry, ladies. That's a double standard. That's what we got to deal with. A man with 50 bodies is always revered because you know why? He has experience that he can bring into the bedroom and he can use on you. And usually that means a good time for the ladies. Now, you don't want to be a man whore having 6, 7, 8 people at a time. No, you don't want to be juggling like that. However, experience pays for a man. As long as he is obligated to you, yes, of course. If he's a high value man, then yes. He's gaining experience, yes, but he's betrothed to you, yes. However, with regards to sexual proclivity and promiscuity, women cannot have, and it's been tested. I was just watching Just Pearly Things the other day, just watching it, and they were talking about this very subject. And I was watching Araco. Araco's fantastic YouTuber. You should check out some of his stuff. 5-10 minutes of really great content. about these certain things, about about love and relationships and such, and how men should be, and how men should act, and how they've acted in public. We got another message saying, "I raised my $2, both married, travel the world." Exactly. Well, both married, travel the world, but you instill values within them, and I'm sure. Here's the thing: I'm sure you raised them to be high value women, Chanel. A lot of people, their husbands treat them like queens, yes, but I'm sure you raised them to be high value women, right? You've given them that tutelage. You've taught them to be fit, and I've seen your daughters; they are quite fit. No shade. I think I've seen one of your daughters. No shade. She's quite fit. She's quite feminine. She's quite friendly. Of course they're going to find men. That's, and I'm sure they're cooperative, and I'm sure they're submissive. And you know what? And you know how many women don't get that tutelage? You know how many women have to go to receive that tutelage from wife school or some sort of educational program available to women who want to be wives these days? And they are growing in popularity. You have given them the greatest start in life, and that's why they're married. You've given them the greatest start in life. But getting back to the subject here, Sierra's in Miami watching. She's in Miami watching games, of course. Well, listen, as we said before, Chanel, if they're fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, they've done it. They've knocked it out of the park. And how old are your daughters, by the way? Let me if you can respond to that, that'd be great. Because that is a great example. Because I've seen one of your daughters, and she is lovely indeed. Let me say that you've raised a great set of daughters, and I don't mean to be insulting or her sexist in any way, shape, or form. So please do not again take it untoward. But you've raised them to be high value women, I'm sure. 1995, 1998, both married. Hello, that's 24 to 26. Yeah. Fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive. No children? I ask you that. Did they have any children before they were married? Chances are they didn't. They were single and childless. Let's just make sure you got that all the way around. And yeah, I'm sure you'd be a fine teacher to a lot of these women out there. A lot of these 30-year-old, 40-year-old women who have yet to be married. No, thank you. We're done here. Thank you, Chanel. Thank you for proving my point. You raised your daughters to be fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, single, and childless. You should open up a school for a lot of these ladies out there who can't find men, who don't realize what the secret is. And we keep telling them, but they don't want to hear. They're in their echo chambers. They're in their echo chambers. Your daughters were, let me see, to 1995, 27, and 1998, 24. We're done here. We're so done here. Your daughters are on their way to generational wealth. Well on their way. Your daughters are well on their way to make sure their children are raised in an environment in which they will reap the sweet and the benefits of married life. You're on your way. They're on their way. Because you've taught them well, Chanel, and that is a good thing. But getting back to the subject here, 50 bodies on a lady is way too much. You ask any men that. That is way too much for a lady to have. And most men won't take that deal. If there are too many men who have memories of your girl, chances are that's not a good girl. You should not. It'll take a certain type of man to be betrothed to them, and God love them. If they can find love, let them find love. Listen, I'm not knocking the hustle. I'm not, but it's not for me. Just simply not for me. If you that have that sort of girl about town reputation, that is a bad sign. Very bad sign. But anyways, We don't want to be associated with women like that. Most men, 99% of high value men don't want to be associated with these sort of women. We continue.
Think. Yeah, 19. No. I'm going to say this. I think 99% of the world's problems, and no one's going to understand this, but you can extrapolate. If you can listen to this statement and extrapolate it out towards society at large. I think 99% of the world's problems will be solved if females walk through life with their body count on their forehead. Because it would prevent all of the disintegration of morals. It would prevent so many things about the world.
But you know what? There's like
and women would be like, to be with me as a man, I don't want to put another number on my forehead. You have to be a good man. They wouldn't stop fucking these idiots and stop being idiots, and all the idiocy would disappear. All the degeneracy would disappear. Families would return. Virgins meeting their first man, staying with him her whole life and being proud of it. Couldn't we go back to such a beautiful age? All we have to do is start putting numbers on girls' foreheads. We could fix everything.
That attitude is disgusting. It's not about women's body count. That would not like minimize any problems. Men like you are the problem, Andrew.
Wrong! You're the problem, Cheyenne, because you got the wrong idea about men. You don't understand what men want. You don't understand what men want. Have another comment here. Another one important point is when a woman finds her husband, get separate accounts from when you got married. But okay, yeah, well, that's another point. Yes, indeed, that's another point. That's another point. But again, doesn't take away from the fact that your daughters are high value women. Doesn't take away from that point. That is an additive that indeed can and you know what? In most marriages, yes, that's what a lot of people advocate. Legally, that people should have their own separate bank accounts. And there should be a joint bank account for any sort of household bills or household, tasks that need to be undertaken. Or renovations that need to be undertaken. Yes, you should have separate accounts. You're absolutely right. But again, you raise your daughters well. And again, Cheyenne coming on and saying, oh, body count shouldn't count for men. Yes, it does. If we know you've had enough bodies on your bodies to your liking, that's why women have to lie. That's one thing women have to lie about is their body count. They definitely have to lie about their body count because if we get wind of how many bodies you've had over your time on this earth, there's a problem. Men have a big problem with that. Whether you like it or not, ladies, it's true. And no matter what she says, because she's not talking, she doesn't hear what a man says to her. She thinks, oh, don't worry, but again, this sort of feminist idea that, it shouldn't mean anything to have a high body count or anything. What should count is the person. No. Never been the case. Never been the case with men. Ever. We want to know that, you know what an acceptable body count is? Maybe 5 to 10. We can stretch to 20. Modern day, we can go to 20. 50? 50 and above? Are you kidding me? No. You may want to sleep with them, but you'll want to marry them. I'll say that.
Women, I myself am sick of men that have this really disgusting outlook on women, policing women's bodies. Listen, if I want to sleep with this many people, I can and I will. Yeah, but what you're not getting is there's this whole hyper toxic independent movement of women, right? We are doing things because it's kind of, now it's our choice, but it's kind of like by force in the sense of it's like we're so liberated because we're literally exhausted with men on their power trip, on their this, and it's like, oh, if you can do it, we can do it. But this is like something you men that think the way you think have created that.
I understand your point. However, you're wrong. She thinks I'm arrogant. I'm being arrogant on purpose. I must admit, annoying her is kind of fun. I think that, you know what? I'm being so nice. I'm being so nice to you. I say I think instead of I know.
This is him being nice.
The answer is I know. I know. Females who sleep with lots of men. First things first. I don't think that women naturally, intrinsically want to do that. I think that's societal programming. I think that women...
No, I agree. This is what I'm saying to you. Like, there's things that you're saying, like, I don't disagree with certain things you're saying, but going back to my point, it's like by force. Like, it's to prove a point. It's like this power struggle. Like, I personally don't want to sit and sleep with loads of men. I don't care. Like,
Good.
I don't.
We're getting somewhere. You see, God Jesus, I'm getting there. Please, little by little, 2 hours left. Give me some time. We'll fix it.
No, but if I want to, then I'm going to.
Sorry.
But that's what you need to
Little by little,
understand.
little by little.
No, but genuinely, but that's what you need to
No, you
understand.
will not. God will frown upon you. You can't do that.
And you.
Women and me. You don't.
You see, here's the thing. If you carry that attitude to any sort of patriarchal society, you'd be stoned. You'd be ridiculed. You'd be pretty much considered an outcast. That is a developed world problem. That women could do the same as men. And men have to like it. You can do what you want here. There's no doubt about that. If you want to sleep with 1,000 men, sleep with 1,000 men. But see how men react to you when you do. See it. You will be gobsmacked. Sure, you'll get your average sin, but a high value man, you will never get. You will never get. Unless your sex is out of this world. And even then, we'll have second thoughts. And even then, we'll have second thoughts. We will. Gotta stand up for this one. Back up. Let it be said, ladies. What you do with your bodies is your choice. What you do with your bodies is totally up to you. But don't expect a man to agree with it. Especially if you have the experience that you want to have. It's been there from time immemorial, and it happens, and it's still there in patriarchal societies. Women are frowned upon who sleep with 1,000 men. That's right. Every man chose me. Okay, well, yeah, they did, but there was a reason why they chose you. There was a reason why they chose you, Chanel. Right? And I say again, to the ladies out there, do as you will, do as you want. This is a free country, it's a free world, but don't expect a man to like it. Don't for a second be surprised if you're not chosen. Don't for a second think that you're going to be chosen, especially if you are full disclosure in terms of the amount of body count you have. Because it stuns men. They do not want to be the one with the hoe. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. And if they have that for a certain time, it ends. It ends. Because we don't want to be the one to say, oh, I've had the one that everybody had. And this is a double standard. For women, to be the guy who's been with every woman, that's par for the course. That's who women are drawn to in the first place. They're drawn to the man who can draw with women. But again, the double standard is the women can't turn that around and say, oh, I'm the woman who had all the men. No. No. Because in any moral structure, it is frowned upon. Anyone. Anywhere around the world. Promiscuous women are frowned upon. From Tokyo to Hawaii. Promiscuous women, 3 or 4 women, are frowned upon. And there's usually one place for them, and that's the streets.
It doesn't say in the Bible I can't do that. Read the book. I can do whatever I want. I'm a man. Women can't do those things. It's disgusting. I can't believe you're poisoning the youth on YouTube.
Why is he shouting?
The idea that a woman can sleep with as many people as she wants just because she wants to is wrong. It's absolutely wrong. Every man knows it. Every woman knows it. Women should not do that. And the whole idea, the whole concept that females can adopt the promiscuity of males, because males have always been promiscuous.
There's actually a lot of men that are like good women, just so you know.
Do you think so?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know very good men.
Would you deem them high value men?
Oh, absolutely. Successful. Everything I listed earlier, 100%.
And they don't cheat, right?
Yeah. It's possible. Seriously, this guy is so toxic, and the only kind of people that listen to his advice are broke men or heartbroken men that are insecure.
See, here's the thing. When a man asserts himself, it's considered toxic. When a man puts forth a point of view that's been heralded for time immemorial, in this feminist age, is considered toxic. It's like calling somebody crazy. Think about it that way. When somebody does something outlandish, what do they do? What do they call him? They don't dig deep into their psyche and ask the reason why. They simply call him crazy. It's dismissive. That's when you call a man asserting himself toxic. It's being dismissive, ladies. It's just as much as calling anybody crazy. When he asserts a point of view that's been there for time immemorial, and not the last 50 years, you can't call him toxic, because toxic is dismissive. There, I said it. Instead of digging deep and asking the reason why he's toxic, instead of being dismissive and saying, oh, he's toxic, he's misogynist, he's this and this and that. Oh. These are all ways women wish to dismiss of an argument without dealing with those facts and not taking a man's point of view. Being dismissive and oh my God. Toxic masculinity is simply masculinity that women disagree with. There, I said it. Toxic masculinity is simple masculinity that women disagree with. In order to end the argument, in order to cast any sort of debate asunder, they call it toxic. And you women need to stop that, because men are getting wind of that and they're not taking it anymore. Because of guys like Mr. Tate. Because of guys like Kevin Samuels. Because of the red pill, because of the MGTOW, because of the manosphere. Men are getting wind of this. You had 50 years of toxic masculinity, dismissive of masculinity in and of itself. That's starting to come to an end. That's starting to come to a close real quick, ladies. And you need to understand that. You know why? Because men aren't dealing with it anymore. They're just literally just say you're walking away. Oh, toxic masculinity? Oh, we don't have to deal with you now anymore. We're walking away. We don't want to. But if you don't want to debate an issue, you don't want to come to terms with certain bits of masculinity and the male psyche, guess what? We're going to walk away. We're going to take our money. We're going to take our ability to protect and provide and walk away. That's what a lot of men are doing these days. Because they can't take... We don't want to be dismissed anymore. We don't. So find a new argument, ladies, because it's not working anymore.
I think that if a man has options over a long enough time frame, he's going to eventually probably explore one of them options. Now, I'm not saying he's going to love another woman. I'm saying that when a man's in love, he only loves one girl. I agree with that. I believe in love. I believe a man cares about a chick. I believe a man should take care of a woman. I believe he should come home to the same place every day. I believe all those things. However, I think if a man truly has options, truly, that both the man and the woman understand that at some point he's going to explore the love.
No, listen, if I'm with you, do you think I'm going to allow you to explore other options? It's either you're with me or you're not. Go be single then. Like what? But realistically, what self-respecting woman is going to sit there and tolerate you?
I don't cheat. I'm a good man. I don't cheat.
What woman is going to if you have all these other options?
No.
Because I tell you what's more powerful, what's more alpha what's more attractive and what's more high value is a man that can respect his woman, love her, not cheat on her, not disregard her, not see himself above her, not see him as, she's his slave or anything like that. See her as an equal, treat her with respect, and put on her. That's more powerful, a partnership, two people. Not, I'm a man that have options, I'm going to explore them. Listen, if you're a cheater...
So again, Cheyenne runs herself into a whole lot of difficulty with that. Do you think a high-value man's going to take that sort of talk? No, seriously. Do you think he'll take that sort of chat on a regular basis? No. No. If she goes on like that for a good period of time, he'll usually... That sort of idea where a man is... Well, here's the thing. As a high-value man, if you are around a certain amount, as Andrew Tate said, if you're around a certain amount of women over a certain period of time and you've been successful in a certain period of time, they're going to be tempted. And that temptation is going to fall. But the fact of the matter is, a good percentage of the time, the man usually come back to the woman, as long as he doesn't embarrass her, bring any babies, or buy her any high-ticket items. What she's saying here falls foul of every sort of man of influence. For him to be a alpha male, and again, the meaning of alpha male, is to be debated whether there is an alpha male or not. To be a leader of society, one of the high value men out there. For him to be a loyal alpha, a loyal high value man is unheard of. Throughout history, it's unheard of. It's only in the last 50 years where you have demanded of men to be loyal. Last 50 years, you've had demanded men to be loyal. Last 50. And to a certain extent, you got away with it. But in high-value circles, it's usually par for the course, ladies. This is totally a middle-class / working-class mindset. Where I am yours and you are mine and we are a partnership. Da, 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 da. We usually laugh at those sort of things. We do. Because in certain circles, certain rules still exist. Now, the feminist movement, it is what it is, and, if you feel that, all power to you, but you can't bring feminist ideals to a high-value man. You can't. 99% of men will usually take those off the table. Literally. If you're of a certain level of life, they'll usually take it off the table. Saying, cut that nonsense out. If you want my protection, if you want my provision, there have to be sacrifices made. And for you to think that your ideas is going to be brought onto the table and literally change the course of history, good luck with that. Because in 2/3 of this world, I would say no. Yeah, 2/3. 2/3 of this world, that isn't the case. It's only in the developed world that sort of mindset exists. Exists. Is allowed to exist. Because we are in a free and democratic society. Take that stuff to Africa. Take that stuff to Eastern Europe. Take that stuff to Asia and watch it fall on its face. Literally. And if you want a high-value man's or men of any sort of influences, protection and provision, insight, advice, and union over a long period of time, that attitude's got to change. That has to change because no man will take that. No high value man will look at that to look at that attitude and say, "Yeah, that's my wife. I want her." No. No. They may exist in certain parameters, but men of influence usually snuff that out and knock it on down the road. Knock it off. Knock it off. I mean, she has a right to say it. I'm not dismissing her right to say what she's saying, but to men of influence, it'll fall flat on its face. Because if you want their protection, if you want their provision, if you want that lifestyle, that sort of attitude must change or else. There, I said it. If you can work that deal, all the power to you, ladies. I kid you not, all the power to you, because you like, I don't want to go there. You have done some work. Let's say that. You are a sorceress. You are an absolute conjurer of spells. If you're allowed to get away with that with high value men. Usually that works with, middle class men and men who need you, yes. Absolutely that sort of attitude goes on with them. But with high value men who don't need you, that usually kick down the road. And that's who 80% of ladies want. They want 20% of men. So that sort of attitude, that's why we get prenups done. That's why you get prenups. For that sort of attitude. Because we don't want to, we'll never bank that. That'll never be considered good and well. There has to be an understanding, a tacit understanding, yes, but those sort of attitudes don't exist. They don't exist. They don't. Women come to an understanding. If you need a man for protection and provision, they come with an understanding. That sort of attitude that she just portrayed there, nope, no, we won't take it. They won't take it.
You're a cheater. If you're a loyal person, that's it.
First things first, men and women are not equal. We'll talk about that in a second. Secondly,
just a quick one before we go back into it. Like, subscribe, comment. Thank you for joining me on Talk Live, sponsored by Done Talk. And we're going to continue here, but thank you for joining me here tonight. And sponsored by Done Talk, DUNTALK. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, but I mean, Cheyenne's doing, she has some interesting takes. But listen, why the hate for Tate? I don't know why the hate for Tate. These are his views, and most men would adhere to these views. They would. You ever seen those? I think I have it here. But you ever seen those views of young men on college campuses asking for the reason why people hate Andrew Tate and don't have a reason? And they don't have a reason. This is what I'm talking about. I don't have a reason to hate Tate. I don't have a reason. I don't have a reason to hate Tate. Because I've heard his views right now. And you're hearing them right now. If anybody objects to his views, please say so. Please leave a comment. Leave a comment and let me know why you hate Tate. Go through this show and tell me a reason why you hate Tate. A lot of what he has to say, it's okay with me.
If a woman sees Chris Brown in the club, do you think she's like, wow, he'll be loyal? Fuck no, she doesn't care. Like, at high enough status as a man, women don't even care about loyalty. Women don't even care about loyalty at high enough status. And I don't cheat. Listen, I'm a man of God. I go to church. I don't cheat. I'm talking about in general.
Okay, but what I'm trying to explain to you though, because maybe your perception of what a high value woman is warped. Because I'm a high value woman, I make my own money, I possess all the qualities that I listed earlier. Right?
Wrong again! High value women we don't care about your money. You're not a high value woman, Cheyenne. You're not! Because we don't care about money. Money has never been a part of being a high value woman. You cannot win over men with money. It doesn't work. It's never worked. We don't care about your funds. We don't care about your money. We don't care about your status in life. Can you be fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive? That's all we care about. And that's free. Or there's a cost. You got to go to the gym and pay a personal trainer. But, these sort of things. You pay a matchmaker, pay a personal trainer, you pay a image consultant. These sort of things. You pay a femininity coach. Yeah, these things sort of pay. Yeah, okay, there's a certain payment there. But it's not as much as what it takes a man to be a high-value man. You don't have to pay that cost, ladies. You don't. I'm sure Chanel's daughters didn't have to pay that cost. They got it for free because their mother, knew how to teach their daughters how to be high-value women. And that's why they're married right now. We don't care about your money, ladies. Let it be said again. I'll say it from the rooftop. We don't care about your money. Sex sandwich silence. If said crudely. But usually fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, that's all we care about. That's it. That's it. That's all. And usually that doesn't cost much if you've had the tutelage already. But sometimes you do have to pay for that because some people don't get the training. So her putting her wallet in front of her, wrong. We don't care about your money. You can be the richest woman in the world. We can leave you. We can leave you, but you won't leave us. I'll tell you that.
I'm not going to be with a man that's going to cheat. I'm not going to look at a man like Chris Brown and be like, oh my God, like he's loyal. You see it at face value. You know he's a cheat, and maybe he'd just be a one-night guy. Just like you men do it to
Would you sleep with him for one night?
I don't think I would.
I hope not, because that would not make you a one-night.
No, this is what I'm saying, because it's like, when you hold yourself in high regard, you don't need to do those things. So the kind of caliber of women that go for men like that and these opportunities don't have that much self-worth because it's what you're going to go with a man that's only only values you for one night. So it says a lot about the quality of a woman.
Right. So we agree on something.
Okay, now here's where she contradicts herself. She says that high-value women could sleep with as many men as they please and want. However, she wouldn't hold herself in high regard as a high-value woman if she slept with a guy like Chris Brown or be promiscuous for that matter. That's a contradiction, people. She just contradicted herself. She said, women are allowed to sleep with whoever they want, but a high-value woman would regard her body count and realize that she is a beautiful individual and that count should be kept to a minimum. She just contradicted herself. She said if she held herself in high regard, she wouldn't sleep with Chris Brown. She wouldn't have one-night stands. She just said it. So there's a contradiction. I hope that Mr. Tate catches on that.
So when you generalize about women, don't do that. Because there are many high-value women
who would refuse it.
That will not tolerate that.
Completely. I'm not saying that. My point is you completely misunderstand me. I'm saying at a certain point, females aren't even interested in loyalty. Do you think all the girls that Dan was there into was loyal? I'm not saying every girl will go with him. I'm saying there are certain girls at a certain level of male achievement who are not interested in loyalty.
But is that attractive? Like, for me personally, that's not attractive to sit there and see a man that thinks it's cool to have loads of women around him. Be like, oh my God, they're bitches. This is like, I have all this money. That doesn't impress me. That doesn't impress a lot of women. It's about raising a family. It's like unity. It's like everything that you were saying. That it's not that.
Talking about all these celebrities XYZ at high enough value when they have options, they will explore them. That's what I'm saying. And I'm also saying that if a man did decide to explore his options, it would not be as disgusting as if a female decided to explore.
Okay, wouldn't it just be disgusting then?
No. It's different if a woman does it. It's different if a woman does it. Everyone watching this knows it's different if a woman cheats.
True.
It's different.
True.
Men with these sexist views, like, it's so outdated.
Again, sexist views. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's not sexist. It's just how men see women. It's how we view women. It's not sexist. It's how a man views a woman. Just how a woman views a man who's successful, who has money, as being of high value. How we see women who are promiscuous, we see them as low value. We see them as side chicks. We see them as one-night stands. We see them as doorknobs. Everybody has a turn. There you go. There it is. Unfortunately, that's the way we see women who are promiscuous as such. We can't be. It's not seen as sexist. Women say, "Oh, we could do as much as men do." No. Well, you're not held in the same esteem as men would see women of a virginal nature. They're held in higher esteem than most of these women would experience to a certain extent, yes. Because these women are catered to not catered. They're, how shall I say this? They are formulated towards their men. And usually these sort of promiscuous ladies, you know where they end up? They end up single. Guys, these end up single. They end up single. No man wants to be associated with a promiscuous lady. None. They may sleep with them, but 99% of them won't want to marry them. They won't. Unless they're in the business, unless they're in the industry, sure, but we wouldn't want it. We wouldn't want it. The sex industry I'm talking about here. So this sort of equivalency, tick for tat, butter for fat, doesn't work on us, men, because they're not making the choices. We are. You ladies are making the choices. If you want to go to the alternative, so be it. Excuse me. If you want to make those alternatives, so be it. But guess what? Don't expect a man to turn around and say, "Oh, that woman with 100 bodies on her. Oh, she's lovely, isn't she? Yeah, I want to wife her." What? Because ladies are in a lot of ladies are in an echo chamber. They don't see what men want because they don't ask us. They say, "Oh, that's good enough for men." See, this is what I'm saying. And we can take this to the dating market. Women who listen to the demands of men that we want them fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, guess what? They get chosen first. That's why you see white girls get chosen first. That's why you see Hispanic ladies get chosen first. That's why you see Muslim ladies get chosen first. That's why you see Chinese ladies get chosen first. That's why you see Latina ladies get chosen first. Because they come from patriarchal societies, so they know the deal. They know what's worth. But you know what? Unfortunately, guess who gets chosen last? Because they have these certain attitudes. They don't know when to draw the line. For the most part. They don't know how to be fit. 55% of them are obese. They don't listen to their men. You get chosen last. You don't want to be friendly. You don't want to smile for your man. Okay, you get chosen last. You don't want to be cooperative with your man. You see them as equals. Okay, you get chosen last. Yeah, you get chosen last. You don't want to be submissive with your men. Okay, you get chosen last. That's why they go back. That's why you see so many men say they want to go back home. Go back to their patriarchal societies and find a woman who's fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive. They go back. Because they've been reared in such societies. They've been reared with such morals. They've been engraved, literally engraved with such ideals. It's engraved upon it. It is basically... It's literally brazed upon them, if that's the right word. It's usually it's grilled. It's usually tattooed on them. It's indelible. You can see it, and that's why it's hard for ladies these days in this society to be chosen, because they fall too far away from what men want. Are you getting this, ladies? They fall away from it. If you can find a man, hey, all the power to you. All the power to you. But if money's no object, that's why there have to be compromises. Usually in economies in which people have it takes two incomes in order to get things done, then compromises are made. But if they're high value men and they don't need their money, they want what they want, and that's what 80% of women want. So why aren't you falling in line? Why aren't you adhering to these ideals? I want to say fall in line. Adhere to these ideals, because if you do, you tend to be chosen quick, just like Chanel's kids. Simple as that. But if you don't want to be chosen, it's up to you. No problem, no shade. Do as you wish. But the consequences are clear, and they're coming. They are coming for you.
Do you have with your mother?
A good one.
Good one.
Yeah, I take care of her. And also that paradigm, the whole idea that if you find a man who's good with his mom and he's good with girls, that's
No, it was just more because I find that your thoughts towards women are quite disrespectful.
You think so? Why?
There's arrogance that you've got.
No, tell me what. I'd actually like to know what I've said. That's so far.
No, I'm just saying it's not. You don't have to say anything. It's like energy speaks volumes because you're not actually listening to what I'm saying.
I'm listening to everything you're saying. I don't think you're listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying women shouldn't sleep with lots of men, and they should fall in love with one man and stay with that man. And if that man takes care of them and ends up across 20 years sleeping with one chick once, you shouldn't leave it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And the point I'm making is completely valid. And if a woman sleeps with one man once, that's unacceptable. If a man does it, it's acceptable. That's the point I'm making.
Do you just want women to be submissive to you?
I think in a healthy relationship, there's always a leader, whether it's the man or the woman. And I think that in the happiest relationships, the man's in charge. I don't think women should be submissive to an idiot. And I don't think women should be submissive to any man they meet. And I don't think women should be submissive when they're not rewarded. Right? If a captain is in charge of a ship, he's responsible for the ship, right? If he's responsible for the ship, he has authority over the ship.
It's a woman. I'm not sure.
In a relationship. Okay. The ship is a relationship.
I know exactly what this guy's doing. It's just like talking in riddles. Like none of it actually.
There's no talking in riddles, Cheyenne. You're not listening. You have cotton wool in your ears. He's very clear as to what he wants, as to what he's saying. He's very, very clear, Cheyenne. You're not getting it. What he's saying is this. If a man is there to protect and provide and is worthy of submission, that means he is of a high value, character and standard. He wants his woman to be feminine, feminine, cooperative, submissive, and not be promiscuous, and be betrothed to him, not have a huge body count. That's all he wants. But the thing about it is, what Cheyenne's professing is that she wants freedom of choice. She wants a woman allowed to do anything, even if a man's paying all the bills. What are you getting from that? Where are you getting this? If a man's paying your bills, submit to him. It makes life a lot easier for you, because all you got to show up and do things that cost a minimum of what a man has to go through to get there, to get to where he would like to be as a high value man. There's a lot of cost there. A whole lot of cost. That's where Cheyenne, see, the thing about Cheyenne, and many feminists of his ilk don't realize is that feminists were married. Feminists adhered to this ideal, whether you like it or not, because feminism really started in the 60s, guys. When women, even if they wished for equality of women, still would submit to their men. Still above it all. Because they wanted to be covered. Because they wanted to be protected. They wanted to be provided for. Is there something wrong with that? Is there something wrong with those ladies back then? Are they in the wrong? Tell me. Because I'd love to hear it. Because they're your mothers. They're your grandmothers. I think they raised a pretty good lot. They raised you. They raised you. They raised you. I'm speaking to my YouTube audience here. They raised you, and they raised you. And I think they did a pretty darn good job. They raised me. And I am a high-value man's son. I think I made out pretty good. Thank you very much. And I think that's what's taken me so long to find a woman of high value, because there are not many out there. I think it's hard. I think it's easier to find a high value woman, of course, but that number is dwindling. It is falling, ladies. Falling. That's why you find a lot of men not even take part in the dating market, because they can't find the high value men high value women they want. They can't. And some wish not to participate, but I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter. I'll still put my hat in the ring, no doubt about that. But I know this road is longer for me, but that's fine. We expect that as men. We expect it. We expect it. See, you want to be the... Feminists want to have that sort of blade sort of mentality. All of the benefits, none of the negatives. They want to be able to assert their feminism, but yet have a high-value man be loyal to them. They want to have a say in the marriage. They want to be partners with a man who made his bones on his own, for the most part. If you help the man get there where you want to go, okay, I see you have a say. But for the most part, men have to do it on their own. They have to do it on their own. Literally on their own. So I ask you, ladies, would you rather the road that a man has had to travel, or the one that women have to? Because I tell you, it's a much finer, much easier paved road. It's sort of like the Yellow Brick Road, but, you know, there are bumps along the way, yes, but adhere to a few standards and you're golden. As I said, there's a difference between a king and a queen on a chessboard. Andrew Tate said it himself. Let's move on.
It makes sense if you actually listen to what he's saying.
So I think if a man has responsibility and he takes care of the woman and improves her life and makes sure that every single facet of her life, whether spiritual, physical, financial, etc., is taken care of, then he should have some degree of authority. I don't see why a man would take care of a woman and have no authority over her while accepting all of the responsibility that's getting played. You're an independent woman. Maybe you make your own money and do all those own things. That's fine, fantastic. But if I had a woman, I would say, look, I like that you do your own things. I like that you do your jobs. But let's keep it part-time. I want you to come with me. We don't go here, we don't go there. I'm taking you around the world. Do with me. I'm taking care of you, etc. And I'd expect her to listen to me in return. Why wouldn't she? I'm not going to say do anything wrong or bad. But if I were to say, I don't like that dude, stop talking to him. I'm her man, not that dude. You shouldn't even be in competition. She'd be all right, cool. Well, why wouldn't we?
But then if I said I didn't like that woman, this is what I'm saying. It's just a double standard, and it's just like a power struggle. Like, it's about balance. You know, and this is the thing. Like, I feel.
See, women don't like double standards that don't work out for them. Let's face facts, okay? Women don't like double standards that don't work out for them. Men have had double standards all the time. If you're not of a certain height, if you're not of a certain build, if you don't have game, if you don't have 6 feet, you don't have 6 inches, you don't have a 6 foot and above penis, and if you're not 6 feet, 6 figures, 6 inch and above, and 6-figure salary, plus you got to have a charm, plus you got to be one of the coolest guys on the block, plus you got to be emotionally available, plus you got to do all these other things. If you don't have these certain things, you're ass out. You have to work on these things. Men understand that. Women rail against it. They say, all these different double standards. Yeah, we have double standards to deal with as well. We aren't respected until we make money. We go sexless until we make money. Try that on for size. 1 out of 3 men have not had sex in a year or more. Why? Because they're unsuccessful. What do men do? Do we cry about a double standard? No, we don't. We understand it. We take it into heart and we have to move on. We fight forward. But you don't see men complaining. But she does. And most women do. But again, men are voting with their feet. MGTOW, red pill, reg pill, manosphere, black manosphere, passport bros. They're all voting with their feet. And they're saying, you know what? We're not taking it anymore. And if we have to go back home to get those sort of women, we will, because the numbers are in our favor. We don't have to tolerate it anymore, ladies. Either you shape up, or there's going to be a lot of ladies alone. And guess what? It's now come time where women end up on the street. Especially after COVID. So you let me know what you want to do. Either you're the greatest sorceress, enchantress ever, or you get with the program. Or, as my man Kevin would say, you buy a dog and you die alone.
A lot of women could give you that life and be like, you know what? He can have a girlfriend. There's so many people that are into that.
I'm not even saying, no, I'm not cheating.
I'm saying there are people that are into that.
Correct. But I'm not a cheater. I don't want you to think this is about me. I'm talking about in general.
But do you think women want to sit here and look stupid? Like, I might think, you know what? Actually, I'm listening to everything you're saying. I'm agreeing and I'm liking it. But then, if you've got me out here looking stupid because you might be in clubs with all these women around you, making me look like an idiot, do you think I'm going to tolerate that? No. When you have men like you have explained, it's as if you're trying to prove a point to the world that you're this great man that has all these options and you're so successful.
I agree.
Like, it doesn't work
I
like
agree.
that.
If there was a man, which is not me because I'm a one-woman man, but if there was a man who decided to have multiple girlfriends, his approach certainly wouldn't be sitting down and saying it the way I'm saying it.
And therein lies the difference, because any sort of man who's successful, who sits around and, women want to follow over them, usually women don't want to leave them. That's usually the case. They don't usually want to leave them because he's a man in demand. And usually women cling to him, and those who are betrothed to them usually stick around because they know they have a good man, because women have already co-signed that man. So feminist ideas aside, they usually stick around. Sorry, ladies.
The point I'm trying to make is, I think that the idea of a man having a girlfriend who he loves and maybe sometimes stepping out is not nearly as offensive as the idea of a woman having a man she loves and sometimes stepping out. You know, I watched American Pie the other week, and I thought that was...
All right, we've reached the 30-minute mark of this thing. I am going to cut things short tonight, and we're going to have a part 3 tomorrow, because we've run about 2 hours here. And listen, things are only getting interesting from here, and I know I'm going to be here for another hour or so, a few hours or so with this topic. So we're going to do another special night, another part 3 of Why the Hate for Tate. That's coming up tomorrow at 8 p.m. here on Talk Talk Live. We're going to go one more round with Mr. Tate here and listen to his views. And to this point, I say again, not much wrong with him. Okay, fine. He has some nefarious business ideas and views and such, but he's a successful man, and most women would fall for him. They would. They would. Despite the fact that there are many women who see him as abhorrent and sexist and ridiculous in every single way, shape, or form. But I've had women on here tonight say that I haven't had a bad word about him yet, including Chanel, who's raised high-value women herself, who have even said themselves there's nothing wrong with what he had to say. Nothing. So I don't know what the fuss is about. But then again, you get a clip, you get a bite, you get a short, and people think the worst of him. But I don't see any problem with him and most of the men out there. So we're going to continue this tomorrow night. on Talk Talk Live. We're going to go part 3 of Why the Hate for Tate. And we're going to finish off this interview because, again, this interview is going to take us into a third hour. And, I'm just going to wrap up. We're going to go one more hour here. We're going to finish off the interview then. And then we are going to give a full verdict of Why the Hate for Tate. And I don't see anything wrong with what he has to say. So day 3, we continue the interview with Cheyenne and Andrew Tate. If you want to see it, go to Standout TV. Excellent interview. I'm just going to give my view on things. And to be fair, there's nothing wrong with what Andrew had to say. Yes, he's come from combat sports. Yes, he's a bit, he tends to be a little more, rambunctious and pugilistic in his views. Yes, because he comes from a fighting world. But I don't have much, if anything, to say about him. So again, thank you for joining me on Talk Talk Live tonight. We're going to wrap things up here. We're going to go to day number 3 of Why the Hate for Tate. This is a 3-part special on the man himself. And again, this man it's coming back to Twitter. And he's been on many other platforms as well. Again, this is all part of Hustlers University. Go back to my first episode and see the reason why. He's still one of the most searched and one of the most known names in the world today, because again, people have kept his name in the public eye for this long, and there are reasons why for that, and Hustlers University plays a part in that. So go back to the first show that we did just yesterday. So we're gonna cut ties here because I gotta eat and I've got to do a few things. I'd like to go to the gym tonight. I'd like to get down there and work on myself. So I'm gonna cut it short here. But tomorrow night, Talk live right here on IG and YouTube. We're gonna try and get TikTok in on the game, in on the act tomorrow night. But thank you for joining me tonight. Sponsored by John Talk, DUNTALK.com. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Hope you enjoyed it tonight. We had a lively conversation with a few ladies out there, and again, it was quite enjoyable. So thank you for joining me. Let me see if there's anything remaining on the, we're good to go here. So we'll be back tomorrow night on Talk Talk Live. I'm going to shut off my YouTube stream now. So thank you for joining me on Talk Talk Live here. And we'll be back tomorrow night. So like, subscribe, comment. We'll see you tomorrow night. Let me just go back to my full cam. Just signing off. We'll be back tomorrow night on Talk Talk Live. Thank you for joining me. Like, subscribe, comment. On the road to 1,000 subscribers. Here I am in the middle of the screen. Middle of the frame. And we'll be back then. All right. So talk soon. And peace here. Good night. And to my audience here on Instagram, thank you for joining me on Talk Talk Live tonight. Like, subscribe, comment. We are in new digs, and we are integrating new process to serve you better over the next few months. So look forward to that. And we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Like, subscribe, comment, and looking forward to hearing from you soon. Part 3 of Why the Hate for Tate starts tomorrow. I'm going to get back to some work tomorrow, so you'll see me in a different locale, probably for the promos, and look forward to speaking to you then. All right. Good night, and thank you for joining me. And if you talk, walk the walk. Good night.